Hey everybody, Koumintang here for episode 4 of Cooking with Koumy. Today we're making meatloaf, instant mashed potatoes, and we're having some corn with it. Alright, for the meatloaf, what we're going to be using is about a pound of ground beef, a pound of sausage, 2 eggs, a half a sleeve of saltine crackers, and about a cup of onion. Now we're going to put a glaze on this, and for the glaze, it's just going to be a ketchup glaze. We're going to use a third of a cup of ketchup and 2 tablespoons of brown sugar. Now for the potatoes, what we're going to be using is we got 4 tablespoons of butter, 2 2/3 cup of water, 1 1/3 cup of milk, a teaspoon of salt, and 2 2/3 cup of potato flakes. Now, when it comes to the instant mashed potatoes, it is going to vary depending on the manufacturer of the instant mashed potato flakes. This is just the one that we're using. This is what it calls for. And then we're also doing about 2 cans of corn. And with that, we're just going to cook that in some butter. Okay, let's start getting this stuff mixed together and get it cooking. Alright, we're going to start putting together the meatloaf. So you're going to need all your meatloaf ingredients minus the glaze. The glaze is going to go on until after the meatloaf's already been in the oven for a little bit. So let's get started. Alright, what you're going to do is take your pound of hamburger meat and your pound of sausage. Get that in there. Go ahead and take your eggs. Get those in there. Add your onion. And with your crackers, you're going to crush your crackers. The onion and the egg, or the crackers and the egg, are really there just to hold everything together. Makes it stay a lot firmer. And then starts the messy part. Just mix it all up until you got a nice finely mixed mixture. Now we've already preheated our oven to 350 degrees. This thing's going to be in there for just about an hour. After about a half hour of it cooking, that's when we're going to add the glaze. That way the glaze can harden up, well, not harden up, but solidify on top of it and get cooked in just the same. Okay, after you've got it mixed up really good, grab your pan. Take your meat mixture, set it down in there, and you're just going to form it into a loaf. Now this will shrink a little bit when it cooks, but it will be enough food here to feed pretty much any family. Okay, now that we got it formed into a loaf, we'll go ahead and throw it in the oven. Start the timer on this. Like I said, it's going to take about an hour to fully cook. And after about 30 minutes, you're going to want to get that glaze put on there. So what we're going to go ahead and do, we're going to mix up the glaze real quick. Glaze is really simple. And then we will start working on the potatoes after we put the glaze on. Alright, for the glaze, like I said, we're just using a third of a cup of ketchup and 2 tablespoons of brown sugar. Like I said, this is really easy to make. You just add your brown sugar to your ketchup, mix it up. You just want to mix it up, get all the chunks of the brown sugar out of there, because brown sugar likes to stick together. have it. Still looks like ketchup, except with some brown sugar in it. Gives it a little sweet taste to put on top of the meatloaf. Alright, meatloaf has been in for about a half hour now. We're going to pull it back out, throw the glaze on there, put it back in for about another half hour. Then we're going to go ahead and get started on our mashed potatoes and our corn. Okay, with the glaze, we're just going to put it on there. Just spread it around a little bit. Okay, after you got it about covering the entire top, that should be good. And then we will throw this back in and let it cook for about another half hour. Okay, what we're going to do for the mashed potatoes is we are going to add the water, the salt, and the butter. And we're going to get this thing brought up to a boil, which I've already started heating it. So basically we're going to wait for the butter to melt the rest of the way. And just mix that up a little bit. Break the butter up into some smaller chunks. It'll melt a little bit faster. And as soon as this starts boiling and everything's starting to split up, what we're going to do is we're going to take it off the heat, and then we're going to add in the cold milk and then start adding in the potatoes. Okay, now that that's boiling, like I said, we'll just take this off the heat. Add in the milk. And what you do is just stir the potatoes in. That way it's not us just dumping and then trying to get it to disperse. Trying to do stuff left-handed is not working. As that sits up, it will start to thicken. All you're doing is just rehydrating the potatoes that was dehydrated to make the flakes. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a little bit of garlic to this. Just enough to give it a little flavor. Just mix that garlic in there real good. Yeah, see, it's starting to thicken up now. Still a little runny. If you find your potatoes are a little too runny, Don't be afraid to add in a little bit more of the instant mashed potatoes. It'll thicken it up. Don't add too much or you're just going to throw the whole mixture off. You have to start over. I think that's what we're going to do. Just add a little bit more. Just to thicken those up just a little bit. Yeah, that's a lot better. Like I said, it doesn't take long for it to start hydrating back up. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to cover those. That way they stay warm while we're waiting on everything else. And we'll get the corn made. Okay, we're going to get the corn started. All I do for my corn, I completely drain the cans because I can't stand that juice or water that they put in there. So what I do is I just throw in some butter, dump the corn in, and let it melt the butter. It gives the corn a real good flavor. Now, as soon as this gets heated up, you're going to want to turn your heat down, or else you'll start frying the corn. And then it gives it a nice little glaze, and we don't want that. You want to make sure you keep moving your corn around. That way you're not burning any of it. And once all that butter gets melted, you're going to just turn it down to low. That way you're just keeping it warm. Then you can start serving it up as soon as everything else is ready. There we go. Alright, now that you got your butter all melted down, just liquid in there now. So, you're just basically going to turn your heat down to low. That way you can keep it warm just until the meatloaf finishes. Which, at this point, we've got about 15 minutes left on the meatloaf. So, as soon as that's ready, we'll get right back to you when we pull it out. Alright, meatloaf's been in for the other half hour now. We'll go ahead and pull it out and get ready to serve this thing up. Okay. Just want to cut this into slices. About an inch thick. some mashed potatoes on there. And some corn. Now I was going to make some gravy with this, but I actually forgot. So, here you have it. Alright, I hope you enjoyed watching this video. If you did, drop me a like on it. Put any comments you have down below, any questions. And again, if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, go ahead and subscribe. We're going to have some great things coming here soon. So again, until next time, we'll see you around.